What's up, Geck?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
I'm chilling. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, man. You've probably talked about this before, but how did you find the hat?
I just saw an image of it online, and I thought it was so funny. So I started tweeting a bunch of images of it, and then I reverse image searched it after a while because I was like, I made so many jokes about it, and I bought it on Etsy. Where'd you find the Gecko?
Just Amazon. Yeah. This is the only. This is not like a custom costume. Anybody can go on Amazon and buy this, and I don't think the company knows that I do therapy Gecko with it. I think
really,
yeah.
Is it not an American-based company, or is it like?
I think it's an American-based company. Yeah.
Okay. They must know.
I don't know. I think I've literally purchased 70 of them or something over the course of. No, maybe not 70.
But do you give them out to when you have the guests on? Then they wear them. Do they keep that one?
No, they usually want to get it off of them as soon as possible.
Really? So why do you have 70? Are you like tearing through them? Or they?
No, I actually have. I'm trying to think of how many I have. I'm going to give a ballpark between. I think it's under like career lifetime, like 3 or 4 years. I think I've gone through under 50. More than 20.
Wow. You could go to the manufacturer and get like a bulk discount probably.
I should do that because here's the thing: if they stop making them, I'm fucked, man.
Yeah.
I don't have like a. I could get like
learn to sew,
like a tailor or something, but
yeah.
I don't want to do that. I'm bad at washing them. They're all smelly and bad.
No.
Yeah.
Are they like weird to wash? Because it looks like a strange material. Looks like some sort of.
I wouldn't know. I don't
mesh.
wash them.
You don't wash them.
I wash them sometimes. Like if I wash them as long as I do. How often do you do laundry? I bet, Benny, you seem like a real every time I go to somebody else's house and like they have like you have a rack out there with spices and you have
sure,
like you're like a real guy. What's that?
I'm a real guy.
Tell me about being a real guy who like does laundry and like live. Tell me about that.
Well, that's such an interesting, odd question that I don't think the average viewer would not relate to. Does that make sense? I think it's more strange that you're not a real guy.
Yeah. Oh, this is for me. I want to know, how do you how did you get to be a real guy?
Oh, I guess I had an actual day job for a few years after college. I was like making websites for a company, and so that I just had to be a normal person. I just was doing the 9 to 5 day job, commute, that kind of thing.
Were you always into like decorating your space and?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're good at like taking care of yourself and doing laundry and adult things.
I guess you have to be. Lyle, are you not?
No, you don't. You don't have to. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're right. You don't have to be, but I guess.
Well, tell me something that you feel like you have to do.
What do you mean?
You said you have to do those like real.
Well, you have
things.
you have to be able to feed yourself and wash your clothes. Like that's you know what I mean? Like I don't know. And I guess once you have those basics down, and the thing is, I'm not that good at feeding myself.
What do you eat?
I eat poorly.
Yeah.
I don't know, bugs or whatever. I know he's the gecko, but I'm the one that eats insects.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that good at cooking, so I do a lot of cereal or dinosaur oatmeal or that kind of thing.
Okay,
how are you disconnected from this? Did you go straight into Gecko out of college? Is that kind of what happened?
I went. How am I disconnected from
being a real guy?
I don't know if being I'm trying to think the true answer of how much the Gecko factors into my experience not being a real guy, or if I felt a time, or if I can remember a time where I was like, yeah, I was pretty good at being like a normal real guy. But even when I was doing like when I was doing cave and stuff, or anything I was doing, I think I still had the same habits.
Totally.
And
also, let me explain real quick for the people, right?
Yeah.
Lyle Therapy Gecko does videos online where he is a gecko and he gives a sort of therapy to people. Why is that volume thing?
Hello.
That's okay. It's probably good.
Does this work?
I think so. It looks like it's probably fine. Anyway, it sounded good when I played it back, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Anyway, Lyle ran a thing called Cave, which was like a house show in Philly. We know each other from the Philly comedy scene, but now he is a Gecko online. But I used to just go to his house show thing.
Yeah, dude.
When he was a student.
That was some of the most fun I've ever had, dude. Is doing those basement shows. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
And the hold your feet the back to the fire. You're not a real guy.
I don't know, man. Maybe there's no such thing as a real guy, and I'm getting in my head about it.
Yeah, probably not.
There's no such thing as a real guy.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But there are some people. There's some people. Like I've met people who are like full-time like internet content people or full-time comedians and stuff, and I believe that, and I go to their house and I'm like, oh, this is a real person, and so I don't know how connected those two things.
What the cutoff is necessarily? Is it like you mentioned like the spice rack, for example? Is it like there's a certain element of like a domestic actual life that
yes, there's an element of a domestic actual life, exactly. Yeah,
like I'm vacuuming my room or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you? I guess part of it. It sounds like you're sort of jumping around because you're like going on tour.
Yeah,
and then you're like you don't necessarily want to be tied down to one specific location.
Yeah,
I like being tied to a location.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at. I haven't felt tied down to a location that I feel like really good about, and I think that's a mental block. I don't rent an apartment in New York. I'm Airbnb-ing here long term.
Like
so
temporary existence. Yeah, it'd
yeah.
be weird for you to have a spice collection
at an spice rack into my suitcase.
A thing of time. yeah.
My pocket time.
No, if you live at a place for like 2 years, it's like you will eventually at some point go, well, I should have onion powder. You know what I mean? It's like
can I give a free sponsor to this podcast? Can I give a free sponsor? Yeah. I've been using like let's not have to say the name, but I've been using this like meal prep that they just send you meals, and it's great. I don't cook. I can just eat this stuff.
Yeah,
But I guess
don't say their name. You didn't say the name, did you?
No, I didn't say the name.
Nice. This podcast is sponsored by the general concept of meal prepping.
This podcast is sponsored by time.
Yeah.
But yeah, was it a conscious decision to get a spice rack, or did I feel like it just showed up?
No, because that's well, I live with other people,
right.
So a lot of that is like that's not my spices necessarily.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They cook a lot more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the spice rack though was. That rack actually is mine randomly, just because I'm into like organization of stuff. Like I really like how things are stored. So even though the spices on it are not mine, it's important to me that they're stacked.
Is that like is that like an OCD thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like OCD?
Yeah, it comes with Tourette's. It doesn't come with Tourette's for everybody, but they're comorbid pretty often. Yeah.
You know what I've always wanted to ask you, and is I'm trying.
And I've always wanted to tell you.
Okay, is like, have you ever been doing a set and you have a Tourette's joke, but you naturally have not ticked yet, and so you don't like? Have you ever had to like?
Yeah.
Well, now I know you open up by being like, I have to, by explaining that you have Tourette's. But what if you're not feeling particularly Tourette'sy? Do you play it up just a little bit so they get the idea if you have a joke about it?
No, I know what you mean. I typically. I've definitely felt less Tourette'sy, like because Tourette's is like it's a myth that it's like it's like that it's constantly continuous or that it's often at the like that people are having it at the same level constantly is like a myth. But if I'm going on stage, the general adrenaline or nerves of doing that will inherently kick it into gear. And thinking about Tourette's gives me more Tourette's too.
Yeah.
So when I'm going up, I am confident enough every time that it will happen anyway.
Okay, I remember you telling me that you have it on stage because it's just the adrenaline of being on stage, and also that like if somebody like clicks at you, it like
if somebody. But
don't let your enemies know that.
If you wink at me, winking at me is one of my biggest triggers. Really? Also, flash photography is a big trigger of mine. Yeah.
How do you get headshots?
Hey, how's being the therapy Gecko going?
Wait, there's another fucking thing I was gonna say.
No, yeah.
God. What were you talking about before? Oh, the things that
Being a real guy.
Okay. Yes, I was gonna ask. Okay, so but now that you've done it so many times, like I also get like adrenaline from like being on stage. But by the time like if I'm doing something like if I have 3 nights in a row where I'm doing this, by night 3 I'm fine. You know, does it calm down?
Yeah, I have significantly less Tourette's on stage now. To the point where like sometimes I'll be able to like go like a few minutes even without like nothing. But I think to some degree that between jokes I typically do a thing called stimming, which I think has been adopted by the autism community, or maybe it was already part of autism, but that's how I see it usually used more. Is like doing something that's like mentally soothing. Yeah. But with Tourette's, stimming means to essentially do a tick on purpose in order to get the mental release of it.
And so you get like dopamine from a tick?
No, it's like a release of tension.
Oh yeah.
So with it, like between jokes, I'll like do like a quick like tick in order to let it like, because there's like a tension that's building. So I'll make sure I'll just like open the valve, let out anything, and then that way while I'm saying the joke, it won't like overflow the dam.
How is have you gotten? What's the response been from the Tourette's community? Like, do you get like DMs from like kids?
Yeah, people,
Tourette's and they're like, "Yo, you're my hero."
I don't know about hero, but they definitely are like stoked.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That must feel really cool.
Oh, it feels great. Yeah. How about the Gecko community? You got any DMs from like the Gecko?
I've gotten some very, very, very nice DMs, and I used to when I first would get like a really, really nice like 3-paragraph long thing, I would be like, oh, I need to respond to this, and then it's weird. Like I turned it into like an anxious thing. He's like, oh, this is supposed to be nice, but I'm like anxious about how I'm gonna respond. So now I don't respond as much, or like I'll respond with like I've learned that it's okay to just respond shortly to something nice that someone's saying to you, because I guess that it's like
they just want you to read it.
I guess they just wanted to know that I read it, I suppose. And I do. I read, and I'll read something, and I'll be like, oh, I fucking love this. This is very nice, and then not respond. I guess because that puts too much. Then I start like participating.
People want to dialogue.
That makes me anxious.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, maybe you'll feel this way. People DM, and then it's like, if you do respond, then they like attempt to start a dialogue and like a sort of, they're trying to do like some sort of like, they want to be like friends in some way. And you're
dude, honestly, like, I used to be more afraid of stuff like that, especially with like the nature of what I do on my like podcast. But 99.99% of like people have been
chill.
Cool. Like That's I've never had to be like this. I don't think I've ever had any like crazy parasocial relationship problems. Like everyone's been pretty cool and normal.
That's great. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Have you?
No, but I would say people have been not like crazy, but people like, I don't know. People get like annoyed if you don't follow them back or something.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
well, I'm not gonna. I don't know. Yeah.
And people will say to me like, "What do I have to do to get you to follow me?" Like, "Oh no, yeah, that'll be like if you respond to something and then they respond back and like, what do I have to do to get you to follow me back?"
And it's like, no, that's not this. Yeah. It's interesting. Wow, it's cool to like. I feel like. I don't know, we're just both like chilling in the Philly comedy scene in 2019. Yeah, do you want to briefly mention about how Cave got shut down?
Yeah, Cave got shut down because my landlord saw an Instagram ad for the shows, and she was like, "Is that my fucking house?" And she came downstairs and like she basically like, yeah, it was they demolished it.
Wow, they demolished it?
No, well, they I think a guy came in and like put a hammer in through the stage or something like
really?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
We went into the unit once and we had put up the stage and we saw there was a big hole in it and we were like, maybe it was them, but
oh wow, okay.
But it ended up working out. It actually ended up working out really well because so right after Cave shut down, it was so like. Cave was happening, and then 5 days after it shut down, I got invited to interview at Adult Swim to do the internship there.
I remember.
And I would have had to, like, if Cave hadn't been shut down, I would have been so stressed out, like, choosing over to, like, whether to keep doing Cave or to go do the internship.
But instead you were able to just be like, hell yeah.
But this was like, I was able to be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Like, I was able to be 100% positive experience.
Put my napkin wad back. I'm gonna
let me see if I
shreds of a napkin I'm trying to put in my pocket. No, that's cool, man. Fucking Cave was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I miss it, yeah.
Just in the basement of his college house in Philly. I mean, there's like a lot of like music shows that would happen in like Philly basements,
right?
And like for there to be like a comedy scene,
right?
Also was cool.
I always hated going to those music shows because when I go to the music shows, everyone there seemed like they were just dismissive and like they're cool.
Do you ever perform at one? It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they're not like they're just too hip and cool.
They're like this.
Yeah.
Like the whole set.
Yeah. They're looking to be, but like comedians, like they want to be. I think they want to talk to people because they want people to think that they're funny.
Oh yeah.
So like they're also good. Comedians are better yes-anders than them. Like you could say a thing. Like if you say something weird to a person at one of the DIY music shows, they'll be like, what? But then there's a better chance if you do that at the comedy show that the person will go, oh yeah, and then they'll add on to whatever weird thing that you said, and so it felt like a more comfortable environment.
I think that I'll say that though I did go to some really great house like music shows, and I think it maybe depended on the part of the scene, the vibe of that specific place and that crowd. Because there was some that were like at Drexel, we had the improv team. And we would combine with some of the house venues to put on like the after parties, and those were like a blast because it would be like comedy show fans, and then we'd have live music, and it was like
that's cool.
It was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, no, doing comedy and then ending it with music rocks.
Yes,
I always used to think the funny thing about Cave was that it was like I compared it to do you watch Rick and Morty?
Yes.
Like, do you remember this? There's an episode where like the parents go out of town. And so Summer and Rick have a party.
It's all the aliens,
so
like Abe Lincoln and stuff.
And so there's all these like teenagers hanging out with all these like weird alien people. That's kind of how it felt because there's all these like college students and then like just like some guy in his 40s. And it all like kind of felt cohesive in a way. It was fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
We were talking earlier about how it's one of the fun things about doing comedy is that you just know strange guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how strange. Strange in the sense of like odd folks.
You have like you'll be 20 and hanging out with someone who like has children and is in their 40s and stuff, and you'll be like, oh man,
Yeah. Just like the comedy scene. I guess I don't feel this way quite as much for New York.
Sure.
But I do feel this way for Philly, where it's like all walks of life.
Yeah.
Because it's like people who are just like, like a lot of mechanics, or a lot of people who are like, driving in from the suburbs or from Jersey, or people who live in South Philly or North Philly or West Philly. Like it's like all coming together, So when I started going, like all of my friends at the time were all the college students, and then when I was 21, going to the bars, it's like. Now I'm friends with a 40-year-old man who has 2 kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's a different energy.
Yeah, that's a good thing, I think, to have that like diverse life experience.
Absolutely. But I don't know if I don't know if you notice this for the New York scene as much. I don't know if you've done many of the Brooklyns.
I don't really like. I haven't really like done any stand up in New York.
Okay.
Really? Yeah.
It feels a lot more, especially the Brooklyn scene. Maybe the Manhattan scene is different.
20s?
Maybe not necessarily white guys, but definitely people in their early 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like in the Brooklyn scene, almost everybody I know is 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like stand-up's getting more popular now, I think. Right? Do you feel that way?
I hope so. And I hope not. But yes, I do feel that way.
I mean, there's like
I don't know how much bigger it can get. It's gotten huge. It's too big.
I guess Well, like, I don't know. There's the whole thing of like, there's this segment, like media is all segmented. So like, I mean, this has been beat to death, the topic, but like, it's very easy to, put out your reels and build your own audience and go, be the biggest fucking comedian in the world that nobody knows who they are because they just have a passionate audience that just knows them.
I mean, that's literally, is that your thing?
That's our thing. Yeah. It's cool. Well, dude, it was so weird because I quit doing comedy when I was 22. I was like,
really?
Yeah. So I was telling you earlier the story of how like I don't think you can, about how like I was not on a show. And I was at the show with a comedian who also wasn't on the show, and I was like, "Doesn't it feel nice to not be on the show for once?" And he was like, "What are you talking about? I'm a comedian. I always want to be on stage." And just realizing that, like, if you don't love it, then you can't. It's hard to do it. But it was really wild because I remember I walked home that night just feeling like miserable because I was like, "Damn, this was like all of my like I don't know what to do. Like this was all of my like aspirations and all of my community and all that stuff." And so. It's really weird to go from that moment of like fully convinced I'm like quitting and none of this stuff's gonna happen to like go hanging out in my mom's basement for 2 years and now I'm like headlining at a comedy club without having done any fucking comedy. It was like a weird roundabout way to do this.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, but also it's like, I mean, it certainly is comedy what you're doing.
Yeah.
When you did stand-up, you weren't doing stand-up.
It's true. Towards the end, I was like, fuck this, and I was doing like weird little character bits.
Yeah, like, I think this is a genius thing you did. But it's like, I'm sure people have heard of PowerPoint comedy, where you have like a PowerPoint on stage. You had PowerPoint comedy, but you were holding like a laptop and like showing the PowerPoint slides on your laptop to the crowd, which is so funny.
Hell yeah.
Like,
thanks,
instead of having it big on a screen, having it on a computer you brought.
It was about this guy who was addicted to big tits. Yeah, I think I showed the audience.
I have a photo of that. Yeah.
I think
I think you did show porn, but you also drew tits.
I did.
Yeah. you were like, this is a drawing I drew.
Yeah, dude, I was like, that was fun. That was
in character. That character drew
big tits.
Yeah, and you had like glasses and like an office.
Yeah, I had
casual
glasses
office
and like an office
outfit
attire. And I would talk about boobs.
But you were doing. It seems like maybe you're not interested or you didn't fall in love with stand-up specifically.
Yeah.
But it's clearly you love comedy. And like maybe sketch or weird stuff specifically.
Something's happening where I hate talking about this because I've been procrastinating on it. I don't know if you're a big procrastinator.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You're a real guy. You're not procrastinating.
I don't think I can be.
There was so like I'm going on tour, and last tour I opened my tour with like a 15-minute PowerPoint of like here's how I became the Gecko and all this stuff, and that's like it's like a monologue. It's like a stand-up-y part. And then, like, going into the audience, like, that feels kind of stand-up-y because, like, it's like weaving, like, trying to actually, like, do, interviewing and whatever with, like, control some. I don't want to say crowd work because I don't.
It is crowd work,
but it is crowd work.
I was thinking crowd work.
Yeah, it is crowd work. But there's also a lot of times where, like, the person in the chair is speaking way more than me, and I'll let them just kind of. Share and stuff. But then I add. So okay, but I was gonna say because I already did this PowerPoint on my last tour. So there's a lot of places I'm going back to where now I need to write a new PowerPoint. And so it's kind of forced me to like I have to go back into like stand up mode and thinking about what's interesting to me, and it's been really fucking stressful, and I've been not wanting to do it, but when I'm feeling I'm getting progress on it, and that makes me stoked. And then when I actually go up and like I told this like 7-minute long story in my show, and that was the first time I had really done like a big storytelling thing or like done like traditional stand up in a while, but it felt so fucking good to like get it to do it,
No, I know what you mean. I guess I'm curious why you still feel like you have to do a PowerPoint part. Like, why aren't you, like, if that is something you're dreading, it sounds like you are enjoying it this time, though. But it sounds like if that is a part you're dreading, why can't you just swap that out for more of the crowd stuff? You know what I mean?
Well, a couple
like, that
things.
sounds like that's on your decision.
So a couple things. I'm curious what you think about. So one is that, like, if people are paying me money to go see a show, like, I should bring. It makes the show better to open up. Well, I just know it makes the show better to open up with, like, a show.
Yeah.
Like, here's a little bit of me. Here's, like, let me make sure. I've done plenty of shows where I just did the group therapy stuff, but it feels nice to, like, have an opening presentation and to feel like people are getting, like, bang for their buck and whatnot. And then two, this is a general, like, life thing. I'm curious what you think about, like, if you're struggling with something but you know it will ultimately be beneficial. I tend to, if I can, not fucking do it and just try to see if I can live a life where I'm only doing things that I naturally gravitate towards. But do you think how do you think about that? Like, do you think you should, like, struggle to overcome a thing that you don't necessarily want to do because you think it will be beneficial?
I want to say it depends on the thing, right?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, storytelling, you just mentioned you did a 7-minute story.
Yeah.
I have struggled with that my whole career.
The opposite of
never done. Yeah. I mean, I sit down, I write stories sometimes, and I'm on stage, I've improvised. If there's, like, a story that's, like, immediately on my mind or something. But I've never, like, finished writing and done repeatedly some sort of 5-minute story or anything. But I do think that would be beneficial of me to learn that skill. But I don't want to. I'm too focused on jokes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every time I write a story, I go, well, here's the 5 jokes from that I like, and you know what I mean. And it's like, why should I be bothering with narrative arc and those elements? You know what I mean?
I feel like that'd be kind of interesting to have like a weave in, like, especially in like an hour, to like weave in like some narrative chunks and then more jokes and then like some narrative chunks and stuff.
Oh yeah. Cool. Did you ever play any of the Dark Souls games?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I know that they're known for being like crazy hard.
Yes, but one of the things that they do, like, story wise, is they don't tell you the story at all, except like they don't like, it's not like other games where it's like, here's the story.
Yeah.
Like Dark Souls is like, you have to learn the story by like reading like item descriptions and stuff. You know what I mean? And I think it's an interesting thing to sort of like just tell jokes and sort of plant the story that way, where it's like, if I have a joke about the fact that I like my grandma always says thank you to her Alexa, it's like, all right, now you know that. And the joke is, my grandma always says thank you to her Alexa, yo Nana, how does Jeff Bezos' boot taste? But now you know that, like, my opinion of Amazon, I've got a Nana that I'm close enough with to, like, make fun of. She's got an Alexa and she's living her life like that. I don't know exactly. But it's like, that's not like a story, but that's something about me.
There is this idea of, like, if you are watching a guy for an hour, you should know stuff about him.
You will learn those things.
You should learn something that makes you feel like you're connected with him or you know him in some
capacity.
And you are, through the jokes, offering that information.
Yeah. Each joke is an item, and you can read its description.
Let's fucking go, baby. Ooh, man.
You've been doing that story up top? That's like
I'll do a story I tell a story on stage about, basically, so I open up with 15 minutes of, like, here's how I became the Gecko, and I show a video and do these other things, and then we do, like, we bring 2 people up, and we do group Gecko therapy.
Cool. How's that? Do you like how? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard maybe either you talked about it or something.
Yeah.
But that it's like, were therapists mad at you or something, or like because it's not or like you have to.
I got a phone call
that it's not real therapy.
Well, I got a phone call once from this woman who was a fan of the show. And she said that she was like, I'm a fan, but my boyfriend hates your show because he's a real therapist.
Ha!
And the boyfriend was in the background being like, don't tell him that. And I was like, asked her if I could talk to him. And I did. And he was pretty cool, and we just talked about. He said that he didn't think I should be doing therapy on the internet, and but I don't know. We got along pretty well. I think he changed his mind afterwards.
Really?
I think yeah.
That's cool.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, okay. I guess two thoughts are, how much of it is that you're actually doing therapy? Because it seems like you do really give a shit and actually do provide them with like a real idea that you earnestly are like. Not. I mean,
I'm like.
You earnestly try to help.
I'm trying to get better at it because I think I don't like when I first started making movies and doing like comedy and stuff. They were not like earnest, and now I'm like on the podcast is extremely earnest, and I'm trying to.
Did you say you're making movies?
No, wait. Did I say? Oh, I was making when I was a kid. When I was like a kid.
I was like, what? Did you make?
No. Yeah.
Gotcha,
when I was in high school and stuff.
Gotcha.
But it started out very not super sincere, and I'm trying to like how do I hold like appropriate and equal space for earnestness and me, saying whatever the fuck I want and like just trying to be funny and whatnot. And I'm always trying to blend those things because I genuinely don't think that they are mutually exclusive.
For sure. No, absolutely not. I mean, also a lot of the comedy is coming from these people really rawly and really honestly telling you these ridiculous situations that they're in. But a classic one, and I mentioned this before, is like look up like the Burger King feud. The guys, he's like,
the
if
Taco
they come
Bell
over
versus McDonald's food.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that. Those are my favorite ones. Is when it's like something. My favorite things is like when someone has a problem that's like it's a little funny, but where it is funny, but there's like some earnest element to be gleamed. From it.
Yeah.
That shit is my favorite.
And the follow up to the part of like you try how it sounds like you're trying earnestly and also trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But the follow up is have you been like studying therapy? Like or like either at least on like Wikipedia or like have you looked into what I mean?
Okay, so I went here this is all I did to study therapy. I was like, I Googled what cognitive behavioral therapy was.
Oh, sure.
And I just clicked on the first link that was on Google. And it was like, the idea behind cognitive behavioral therapy.
I've got a joke about that, by the way. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I've been going to cognitive behavioral therapy for balding. I've been balding.
Cognitive balding therapy?
No, just cognitive behavioral therapy for balding. I'm just trying to, as if I can change my thought patterns and then stop balding.
Oh, if you change your thought patterns, you'll change your balding.
Yeah, maybe it's not a good enough joke. But anyway, sorry, what?
Well, I read that cognitive behavioral therapy, all it is trying to get somebody to change their perspective on things.
Really?
In a positive way. And I just read that. I literally read that sentence. It's just trying to get somebody to change their perspective on things in a positive way. And I'm like, all right, that does sound similar to what I sometimes kind of like try to help people do. Wow. But there's also a lot of times where like, a lot of times I get in the chair and I'm just tired and I don't feel like I can be as present as I want to be. Huh. But then there are times where I'm feeling very present and I'm very much in the mode of like, I want to get into something with this person. And that feels amazing, and then the opposite feels pretty horrible. Like sometimes I'm just depressed and I'm out of it, and then somebody will get on the phone and like I can tell that they want me to like try to help them, and I'm just like I just can't, and that makes me feel bad. I'm
sure that's true for like real therapists.
Yeah.
And by the way, perhaps he's more real of a therapist. He's helped more people. Think about that,
dude.
Overall impact.
I've gotten a fair share of like messages and responses of people saying like,
"You've genuinely helped.
You helped me more than a real therapist," and I'm like, is that indicative of me or of therapy as an experience?
I would say it's realistically, it's probably that. If you were a real therapist, you'd be a very good one.
I think
it's indicative of you. I think it's not an indictment of therapy.
Yeah.
I think it's indicative of the fact that you are a good one. Right.
Yeah.
I think like, a therapist can be anybody that just want to do that,
right,
and get licensed,
right.
And so they run the gamut of quality, and you're just an actually smart, funny guy.
Oh, thanks, man.
And you care, and so when these people fucking listen to you, it's like you actually are like trying in a way that it was Thanks, have you thought about becoming a licensed therapist?
I've Googled it before.
Oh, sure.
I appreciate everything you just said, by the way. It makes me feel nice. I've Googled it, and it's too much school. It's way easier and cheaper to pretend to be a fake Gecko one on the internet. It's a way better life. And also because I can somebody can be talking to me and I can just be like, I can say anything to them. I can say, I can broadcast their problems worldwide.
Don't they have like patient confidentiality? Where's that come in here?
I don't.
Is it like, because you're not a real therapist.
Because well, also, I mean, I'm broadcasting this out to. I have had people tell me to take things down, and I always take them down.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I had this. I'll do stuff in person every once in a while. I like that. And there was this girl who I interviewed in Portugal. And she went on a rant about how she likes to like cosplay, like she basically like pretends to be poor. You know what I mean? But I don't know. She just had a funny. I just thought it was a funny clip, and people like I posted it, and people in the comments were getting like furious at her and like
that makes sense. Yeah.
Sending like death threats and stuff. And I was like, and the video was like going viral, which hits a dopamine center. But I was like. I don't like I'm checking my phone every 5 seconds and it's like, oh cool, the video is getting views, but also
it's for a bad reason.
It's for a terrible reason. So I deleted that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Have you ever thought about becoming a licensed Gecko? Sorry.
How do you become I'm trying to think of how you can get a license to become a Gecko.
Just get a sun lamp or something, I don't know.
Get a sun lamp, run around. I do a few Gecko things. I like to scurry around. I like to scurry around. I like
any calls from like any geckos who are mad at you for stealing valor?
People think that me and the Gecko are beefing, but
that is funny.
Yeah, well, you said no gossip.
He's a sellout. He's fucking. He's been doing advertisements for like so long. He's got the money to like relax, but he still does them.
I was
talking about brand loyalty though.
I'm sure, who are the most famous geckos? There's the Gecko. There's Gex the Gecko.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you should know this. Guy who
I've thought about
there's Lyle the therapy gecko.
There's not a lot of geckos, man.
There's not that many geckos. It's not a crowded space.
There's a lot of lizards. You know that movie Leo?
No.
You don't know the movie Leo? It's about Adam Sandler and he's a lizard.
Rango?
Yeah, Rango. Oh shit,
Rango's
yeah. There are
lizard?
Rango's a big one.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's up to. He only made one. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it? Wouldn't you think there'd be a second Rango, that there was to be a Rango 2?
Yeah. Remember they couldn't cast anybody else. Like Rango didn't want to do it. They couldn't find anybody else to do it.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch George of the Jungle 2?
Was it direct to video?
I think so. There's like they couldn't afford like Brendan Fraser, and and that's like a line in the movie. Like the guy comes out and they're like, well, you're not the George of the Jungle. Like, who are you? And it's like the guy that's like George of the Jungle. He's like, studio too cheap to pay Brendan Fraser.
That's I bet there's a lot of those movies where like they just didn't bring back the old guy.
Yeah.
For the direct-to-video sequel. You ever see Lion King 1.5?
I think so, but I remember that was schlock also. I couldn't get Timon instead.
He couldn't get Timon.
Well, the catering on the first movie was bugs. Can you imagine?
Yeah, you wouldn't get. I guess you wouldn't get a lot of people back if the catering was bugs. Why do you have a hammer on your? You just have a loose hammer.
Yeah, man. Everything looks like a loose snail.
Okay. That's
my toolbox.
Are these all real plants? Do you water these?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You got this.
That's you. It's gonna be you. I'm gonna skin you alive and put you
I'm always looking for like how do I make like what is actually gonna make my life better? And then sometimes I'm here right now and I'm like, should I decorate my room? Should I have things?
The thing is, a lot of these are gifts or tchotchkes that are like friends. I mean, things from my parents, things from friends, that kind of thing. So it's like a collection of over time. It's not this. Like that, these aren't things as much that I would buy as much as things that memories.
Yeah, I have so much stuff like that. Like I have a lot of like Gecko tchotchkes and stuff that are really cool, but I don't have anywhere to. I've thought it could be cool to like when I finally have an apartment and stuff, like actually like display my Gecko stuff. But right now it's in a box. I'm just waiting to
do it, dude. That'd be amazing. Become a real guy.
Yeah, I feel like that would like have like this is okay. I'm on a quest to become a real guy. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I think this is part of the things that would make me more of a real guy.
Here's a question. Yeah. I was thinking that maybe I was thinking about the rappers again, by the way.
Yeah.
It's sort of unrelated to that, but also back to, how's that? How's interviewing rappers and stuff?
The rappers have all been really cool.
That's great. That makes sense.
Rappers have been really cool.
Then we can talk about
when Lil Yachty came on, I think I was nervous that he was going to be like a cool guy because I'd seen a lot of interviews of him before. Like this was when he was like really young, and he just seemed like reserved. And then when I met him, he like gave me a hug, and he was super fucking nice. And then we got on, and he did 3 hours, and he was so perfect that like. He was at that balance of like earnestness and trying to be funny, and he was like earnest when it called for it to be earnest, and funny when it called to be funny. And it was great meeting him. He was really fucking cool.
That's amazing. Has it been mostly like rappers?
I've had a couple comedians on.
You had somebody on that I remember thinking it was like a funny get to have, maybe like an older.
I had
gentleman?
Tim Heidecker on. That was
Tim Heidecker on. Oh hell yeah,
cool.
That's what's up. I've been watching on Cinema at the Cinema lately.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So funny.
It was cool having him on because he was somewhere I'm like, oh, this guy, he was me and my friend's whole identities and shit growing up, and he's just a dad living in Glendale. He's just a fucking guy. Yeah.
Wait, in Philly area? Or should we say where he lives?
I guess. Well, I
don't know where he lives.
Yeah, he lives in He's just a guy living in a house.
Glendale's California.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. They're from Philly though.
Wait, he has a song about living in Glendale, so I think that's public information.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's what we're doxing tonight.
But that was.
I thought he lives on my computer.
Yeah, he lives on the computer. He
just gets stoned and watch Tim and Eric.
Are you a Tim and Eric fan?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I haven't seen all of it, but what I've seen, there's like one line that I find so fucking funny, and I think about it all the time. It's like they're like it's like just like a band, or it's like a throwaway line where Tim is talking about this other guy. He's like, maybe I don't know. One of them goes, Jim's actually the first guy to turn me on to online banking. And I kills
that
me.
Rocks, yeah.
It kills me.
That rocks,
it's
that rocks.
so fucking funny.
Did you watch the Tim stand-up special?
I did. Yeah. That
really
was genius.
Funny.
Yeah. Fuck. Just like I don't know, great send-up to a specific subset of culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was. I mean, the guest stuff has been really cool. It's fun when it happens. Everyone's been.
How did he find out about? Did he see you?
I think the Office Hours Instagram followed me, and I followed them back, and I was like, "Can I please come on the show?" And then I went on his podcast, and then I got his email and asked him if he wanted to come on mine, and he said yes, and then we did it. It was cool.
That's what's up.
It was fun.
Hell yeah.
It was fun.
And how'd you get on this one? How'd you get the Feldman get?
I reached out to Benny on Instagram. He didn't respond. I had my agent reach out. I sent a carrier pigeon. I had to Venmo you $20.
Yeah, a care package. I thought you were gonna say care packages. Like you sent me like a gift basket with like
I sent you some Kit Kats,
soaps and candy. Yeah. I did a show recently and they like asked like if I wanted anything in like the green room. Nice. And like, sure. Like they that's like what the rider is.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, that's like not my vibe.
Yeah.
So it just said candy ? And they like got a huge basket of candy.
Dude, I'm starting. I just write. I have Celsius on my
rider,
just like an energy drink.
Is it good?
It's really good. I'm thinking about.
Is this an ad? What are we doing? Ad break?
This is an ad for. Well, no, I was about to say. I was talking to someone recently who said the same thing, that she puts candy on her rider.
Well, I don't. I mean, they just asked, and I was like, I literally said candy question mark.
Yeah, but that question mark opens up a lot of possibilities.
I know, and then now I know that like, they're like, people are like, yes, absolutely, we will get you the candy, and I'm like, that's not. The vibe I'm bringing is.
Did you ever go do Dynasty Typewriter? Do you know Dynasty Typewriter?
That sounds so familiar. No, I don't think I have.
They're this really cool comedy club in Los Angeles.
Oh, right. Okay.
They have popcorn with gummy worms in it.
Yo!
And I was a big diva about that popcorn with gummy worms in it. I was like, let me have 5 of those.
There's a show venue here called Caveat that has like popcorn, but then they have like a 30 pump station where they have all different sorts of like, maybe not pumps, but like 30 toppings. You can do mix and match all those sorts of things. Cool. It's a lot of fun. Sweet. But that's awesome. Dynasty Typewriter.
Yeah, Dynasty Typewriter, popcorn with the gummy worms. Definitely go to Dynasty Typewriter and get popcorn with the gummy worms. And if you're feeling crazy, you can they got like a toffee bar. They got like Reese's cups. They got. Damn, now I kind of want
to. What a specific advertisement. Would you be a diva about anything? Are you a diva in any capacity? I can't imagine.
Am I a diva in any capacity?
Or now that you have, this is your job, right? I assume. Now that you have this, is there something that you like to spend a little money on? Is there like a luxury item for you? You know what I mean?
It's a luxury item for me. Let's see.
Champagne and a hot tub and the bay and
I like to travel. I'm not well, I mean, I go out to like dinner and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Like that's the luxury. There's, I guess, the main luxury is like can you leave your house with a friend to go do something in New York City and not be thinking if you're going to go broke after doing that.
No, I feel you. Yeah. I mean, literally, I had the thought we just got pizza, and I was like, damn, this pizza place costs more money than I needed to.
Well, yeah, no, it's $10 for 2 slices of pizza.
Yeah.
Well, how much was the cannoli?
It was like $5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love like the $1 pizza places. That shit's really good.
Some of them are good. Some of them are the pizza's clearly like a piece of cardboard.
But I don't even mind. I don't even mind that I can eat unedible. I have very low like food stand. Like I'll eat like gas station like a what is it? The not even taquitos. Step down from that. Like, a gas station that has the off-brand taquitos, the torpedoes.
Torpedoes?
Yeah, like when I had a fair amount of time I was eating
Doritos, torpedoes. Some of them are actually are Doritos. Am I wrong? It's like Dorito flavored.
Yeah, there's the Doritos Locos Taco.
That's true. Those are great. Yeah, Taco Bell's got that. Those are so good.
Those are really
we're doing a lot of inadvertent advertisements.
Yeah, dude. And go visit all of them. Those are all good.
This podcast is not sponsored by Doritos Locos Tacos, but come on, you kidding me? It's a taco made out of Doritos.
Oh yeah, switch. Yeah, I like that.
Are you all sweaty? Is this gonna be all sweaty?
You tell me. I mean, I don't know how it'll smell.
He literally told me that he doesn't wash them and that
try it on.
A little stinky from here. A little stinky.
Does it smell bad? You can tell me the truth.
It doesn't smell bad, but it does smell gently. It does smell
gently used. Yeah,
it smells like you've used it 4 times at least.
Yeah.
How many times did you say you've used it?
Like in life in general, or since I
last washed it?
Since I last washed it, or in general?
Since you last washed it.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
A little stinky. I am trying to put it on. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, there we go. You got it.
There we go. Is this correct? Is this correct?
Yeah. That's way. Well, normally there's like supposed to be stuffing in it, but that's it.
You take the stuffing out for something?
No. It comes without stuffing, and you put the stuffing in.
I feel like I look like this is an ethnic garb that I.
It does. It looks
like on me. It looks a little. Different.
You know what? It's
little different.
It's funny. No, I've never noticed that when you wear it without
the Semitic nose.
When you wear it without the shirt, it looks kind of like a hijab.
Oh yeah, well, or maybe
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if hijab's the right one, but some similar
type of
garb,
religious garb.
You look like
yeah.
Well, the thing is, because you have this and you've got the hat, you look like the Warner Brothers frog a little bit. Like, you look like.
Oh yeah, no, totally, yeah. This is kinda,
hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime girl.
I think a lot of people think that.
Somebody it's a frog. By wire. Honey, my heart's on fire. Sorry, you got anything?
That's all I got.
This is so fun to wear.
That's all I got. Yeah.
This is so neat.
Yeah. It's good. That novelty, that feeling is gonna wear off.
Really?
In a couple of years.
You look so funny with the hat, by the way. It suits you. It fits you.
Thank you very much. I don't know. When you're wearing a fedora and someone says it suits you, is that a compliment?
It is a steampunk hat as opposed to us. It's not a standard fedora. They should have Gecko conventions.
Gecko. I want to go to
we should start one.
I want to go to a reptile convention.
Get justice to the Gecko. By the way, because I'm familiar with Lyle's old work, because I have been a comedy of pals with you for a while. Mm-hmm. So, and I remember you had a Bumblebee thing. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
do you still have that costume?
Yeah, I do. I do still have that costume. I used to be, before I was a gecko, I did a costume where I was a bee. Yeah. We went to the Philadelphia Flower Convention.
Yes, and, that's what it was. It was so funny.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I was editing these little on the street videos.
And you were asking people stuff as you're just like you asking stuff as if you're like a bee.
Yeah.
But they were like, what?
Yeah, it was a little. I used to do these little man on the street things, which I guess sort of evolved into doing the same thing as a gecko.
Have you thought about, like, you've got Therapy Gecko, right?
Yeah.
Could you have, like, the bee be a different character or some other character where you're like, now you're a red guy?
I think anything I would do, I would probably do it as
okay, sure. You don't want to do, like, a poison dart frog and you, like, just give bad advice?
I don't know I guess I don't know what that would, because I'm not really, like, playing a character. I'm just kind of, like, wearing a costume.
That is so funny.
Exactly
that is so funny. So God, that's... All right, now it's getting itchy.
Yeah, it sucks.
Ugh. Whew. I'm probably going to shower later to get off the...
Take your hand.
Oh, thank you. Get off that stank. Get that... Wow, I do feel... Does it constrict? Not the hat.
The sights? Does it constrict my sight?
Or blood flow or something. I'm trying... I feel like I'm like, whoa. Or maybe sight. There's an amount of light that's coming back in.
Yeah.
That I
like this compass on the top of this thing.
Thank you. It always points to me.
That rocks. This is very Wonka coded.
Thank you. Yeah. No. The joke for that is Wonka is just sugar coated steampunk.
I like that.
Ha-cha-cha-cha. I don't do it on stage. I'm not a big pun guy, and that's to me that's like that's wordplay. It's wordplay at least. The idea of it's a pun on sugar coated. I'm using the word sugar.
Yeah, that's a pun.
I'm using the word sugar coated to mean two different things.
Yeah, that's a pun.
Yeah.
Did what the fuck was I gonna say?
I'll tell you.
Did you see Wonka? Did you see the new one?
No. Timothy Chalamet. What a dream.
Oh my god. I saw it. This is a terrible.
I have heard it's good. I do like Timmy.
Yeah. No, it's a bad.
I call him Tim.
He's I don't think he should have been the Wonka because he's too. I don't think Wonka's a hot, cool guy. Yeah. He's a weirdo.
I got another joke for you, by the way.
Yeah, please.
If a stranger offers you candy, you typically go. You don't want to get in their van, right?
Yeah.
If if a weird stranger offers you candy, if a really weird stranger offers you really weird candy, you don't want to get on their nightmare chocolate river dreamboat.
I love that. That's great.
Thank you.
That's great. Have you done that before?
No, because I don't know. I think the thing is that people have made similar jokes about where they're like, oh, but they've made jokes about. I think that's a bit different because I'm focusing on the vehicle element.
Because the idea of is like
the weird van.
Yeah, a stranger with candy. But And even weirder, like Willy Wonka is the weirdest stranger with the weirdest candy.
But I think that part's been done.
I haven't heard that before.
I think if you look into it on like Twitter, you'll find people making the like, oh, you won't get into stranger with candy won't get in their van. Stranger with candy will go to their factory. Is like a joke that I think is an easy pattern to do.
Okay, I haven't seen that before.
The reason I wanted to still present this one is because I like focusing on the idea of the van versus the Chocolate River Nightmare Dreamboat.
Right.
Is the part here where it's like that's the vehicle that now that this weird guy is trying to get you into.
That's the addition.
But I don't know. So it doesn't. That's why I don't do it on stage because I don't think it's unique enough. But yeah.
How's your show going that you do here in New York?
The one that I run or my hour?
The one that you run.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Nice.
If you're in town, it's on Saturday.
Oh shit. Oh wait, this Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, what time?
5 p.m. at Union Hall.
Okay, cool. I might try to check it out.
And that one's an actual advertisement that I do endorse for real. If you happen to, there's no way this is going to come out by then. This will be in the past for sure. How many of these have you done? How many of these?
Yeah.
Like 77, I believe this will be.
This is 77th. Wow.
Yeah, but I stopped doing them every week.
Do you have a guest every single week?
No.
Okay. What are you doing? You don't have a guest? You just talk?
No. I'm saying I stopped doing it every week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
for all 77, did you have a guest?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but now it's been like between episodes, it's more often like a month or so, because I feel like every week is too often to hear from me.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Do you feel how often are you cranking out therapy?
I'm on twice a week, 2 hours a week.
But I mean, it's a bit different because they're not hearing from like a comedian's podcast is like, here are my latest thoughts.
Right, and this is a lot of this is
reactive.
Yeah,
it's a bit different. Yeah.
I'm trying. A lot of it is just kind of reacting to other people and stuff. So
do people tune in? Like, are you getting good?
Yeah.
You getting like good to all of them?
That's how I make a living is like podcast and YouTube and people chime in and I don't know. With YouTube, it's like having like not that many views, but a lot of like people who like you can tell like there's a difference between like internet computer numbers versus like how many real human beings are actually invested in this thing that I'm doing, and the computer numbers don't always greatly tell that story because you could have like a couple of videos with a few. You could have like 700,000 subscribers or a couple of videos with like 100,000 views or whatever, but it's like that doesn't tell the story of whether or not there's consistently people showing up to engage with your bullshit,
the content regularly.
Yeah. And I would say this is a very nice audience of folks. I always think that nobody's listening to it, and then somebody will be like, "I listened to every episode," and I'm like, "Oh shit! All right, I guess." And somebody can it doesn't register to me that it doesn't register to me that it's even being recorded and like put out into the world, and then people are like, "You remember when you said this?" And I'm like, "I thought I said that to myself alone." And I didn't realize anyone was there.
Yeah, is it strange for you to? I mean, because I mean, like it's
me, yeah.
It's weird that I've like you're like I was saying some of them back to you. I don't know if you found that out, or I mean, you even mentioned that you've seen some like you've been watching like my stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, Lyle's been watching.
Yeah, no,
I think it's sort of a mutual.
No, I meant to. I watch every time I see the.
Thank you.
There's some fucking great jokes on there.
Thank you, man.
Very, very happy to see that. You're.
And here's what I've watched. I've watched a bunch. I've watched a lot. I'll say that every time I see it, I watch.
Oh, cool. Cool.
There's some true classics. There's some, and I've sent yours to like people.
Oh, cool.
I've been like, this is my friend. Check out this guy, man. And they'll be like, oh, I've seen him.
That's cool.
Sometimes.
That's cool. Yeah. It's fun.
It's
fun. I gotta be more. Do you like what you do all the time?
What do you mean?
Are you always enjoying like going out and doing stand up and podcasts and the life that you live and
that's a great question. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if you meant purely the work or the thing overall. I would say I'm really loving it. I'm really invested in it. I think that it is right now it's a little stressful because I'm trying to make sure that some parts of it come together more. But yeah, I really love it. How about you?
Oh god, yeah.
Boring. He's bored. Boring.
Bring sometimes, man, it is stressful to make sure the things come together. I've learned.
Do you love doing the Gecko? Sorry, what have you learned?
It depends. Sometimes I love doing it. Like, I'll have a week where I'll stream for 3 weeks, and I'll end the stream and I'll lay on the floor and I'll go like, I can't do this. And then I'll have a month like that, and then I'll have like I'll have one stream where like it's like 3 hours long, and everyone I talk to is like, they're just all great conversations, and I'm like, we're like, this felt really good. I felt like I am where I need to be in the universe right now, kind of shit. And that feels really good. But and I'm trying to I'm trying to do the math on how to get there, right? Like what's the variable on how to get there? Is it and it's normally about how I'm feeling, like, because there's okay, are the callers coming to me with problems or situations or are the callers entertaining and good and easy to talk to and whatnot? And then there's like me, like, am I awake? Am I present? Am I caffeinated? Am I thinking about something else? Am I fucking distracted? Am I sad? Like, am I present with them? And when those things align, it's fucking awesome. But I don't know how to do I'm like trying to solve for X on how to get that to align versus being like, okay, well, maybe how I feel every day, and a lot of this is out of my control. But yeah, it's hard to answer that question because I truly do feel the answer is an astounding yes when everything's aligned, but it's a no sometimes when it's not,
No, I feel you. We're at an hour, but I would like to keep going a little bit because I have a question or two.
Yeah. And
the idea is, what's a sort of end goal with this? Because my thoughts are with stand-up, this is in my mind, I'm like, stand-up is the product in itself, and people want that, and it's the art form. Therapy Gecko, it could keep going in my mind, but I don't know. Are you trying to pivot to something, or are you trying like do you see you doing Therapy Gecko in like 5 years? You know what I mean? Or like, what's the like?
Oh, well,
you see what I'm saying?
Man, I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm 26. And
you're fucked then.
Well, I've been thinking. I'm like, no. I've been thinking about like, oh shit, I'm not just gonna like. I'm eventually like, there actually is going to be 5 years later. Like, what the fuck does that? And I'm responsible for creating that. And I lose faith a lot of the times in my ability to do that. But it's crazy because I remember many times, like when I was in like college and stuff, where I thought about like, oh god, I actually have to live life, and I actually have to be responsible for propelling my life forward in some way. And I was like, I'm too weak, I can't fucking do it. And I remember feeling that feeling 5 years ago, and things worked out. I don't know if that's and I feel like I've been able to successfully do a lot of different things throughout my life, and I'm trying to hold on to the confidence that my brain works in a certain way that I can, do anything I want to do. And I think I macro have that wavering confidence pretty well. And so, I don't know, man. I think I want to do this for at least another year and a half, and then see what happens. There's a lot of other shit that could be. I know I want to travel. I want to go all over the place and make videos. I have like little. You can't go to like. I want to do.
You have to stay within like a tropical region. So.
Well, I know. I'm trying to go. There's Well, I can go to snowy mountains. There's some snow geckos.
Really?
Yeah, there's snow geckos.
No way.
I don't know if that's true. I'm
gonna look into it.
Please don't. Please just take
snow geckos. Aren't they cold blooded? Anyway. Well. Yeah. Well. Okay. I guess the thought is like. Even if the specific thing of the Therapy Gecko itself, even if at some point you were like, okay, I am done with this. I have personally found that I've hit this sort of creative end. I think now you've got a sort of audience of people who I would argue are not just there for Therapy Gecko, but would follow you to some sort of next creative endeavor.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope so. I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, I did a rave, and that was fun. And there was like a few, we got some people at the rave, and I was like, all right.
Sure, yeah, new career in raves. Yeah, pivot to raves.
I did the two raves, and they were fun. But I was like, I did have a second while I don't play music. I don't DJ. I don't like music. I'm not like into EDM music. I don't know why I did. I did have a moment like when I was on.
Oh, stage. You played in costume?
Yeah, no. I hired a DJ to play. And there was a moment when I was on stage. I was like, "Why did I do this?" It was fun. And I do know why I did it, but I was like, "This is a little random."
For drugs.
No, sorry. For drugs. There was a guy on my Reddit who was like, "Who's getting Molly for the Seattle reptile rave?"
Is that what it's called, the reptile rave?
Yeah, it was the reptile rave.
That's what's up.
I just want to be out of. I genuinely, I just like being out of the fucking house, dude. That's what I miss about stand up. I'm like, what can I possibly do to just to be out of the house, you know?
Okay, well, I'd be interested in seeing. What am I interested in seeing from Lyle?
Yeah, please.
One, I'd be interested in seeing some sort of Therapy Gecko documentary. I think that would be an interesting
thing
one to put
out,
together.
Actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah. It's not mine, but I think.
Really?
I think there's a documentary coming out on Saturday, but
don't give them permission unless you get a cut.
Well, I think I already did that, but
too late. Anyway,
you know what? Maybe it's a hit piece. Whatever. If it's a hit piece, that's fine. I'll take
this gecko is not a real gecko.
Yeah.
What's the or maybe like I'd be interested in seeing you do more. I mean, the therapy stuff is already social, but it sounds like you specifically would like more community.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing you do something that's community oriented.
I would love to do something
social
or
something.
Social oriented. I'm trying to think of what that is. Oh, I want to do. I keep fucking talking about this. I was reading a journal of mine from September that was like, I'm excited to get to New York so I can do this, and I still haven't done it yet. But I want to do an
jerk off in Times Square.
I want to do. I want to do these like art exhibits. I think that'd be fun.
Like, what do you mean do an art exhibit?
Like, all right, I'll just say the idea. Like,
nobody's gonna say this.
Would it be? Would it be? Like, I want to rent a room. You can just rent rooms.
Oh yeah, you can live in them too.
Like, I rent a room and put a pedestal in the middle of the room and put a smoke detector in the middle of the room and put it behind a glass box and invite everyone to. Gek presents a smoke detector going off every 15 minutes.
Would it go off every 15 minutes?
Go off every 15 minutes.
How would you do that?
I guess I would have to program it to go off every 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd have to like have a...
And then people could come and they could look at this. They could look at the smoke detector.
You just have a smoke detector going off so that way it would go off...
Yeah.
At some sort of normal rate. Or you have to light a fire regularly.
I guess it would... How long does a smoke detector... beep for, or it just would go off every.
You're gonna have to look at it.
It's figure out about the logistics of it. You know, we can. Yeah. It's possible to make a smoke detector.
Gek presents. Forget the smoke detector. A loud beep every 15 minutes.
A loud beep every 15 minutes.
And it's just an event, but every 15 minutes there's quite a loud beep.
I like that. Yeah.
That way you don't have to worry about programming. You can just have a thing.
Yeah.
It's every 15 minutes. Beep.
Yeah, I like that.
And you go back to this podcast and you sample me doing that just now, and that's the noise.
That you could turn you doing that just now into a. That was a good beep. That was a good beep.
Thank you. Yeah. People have made a lot of art about you.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've gotten a lot of fan art. I've gotten a lot of. I got like a
erotica.
I have gotten erotica. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So somebody made a.
I thought so.
These people in my Discord once commissioned an artist to make, Rule 34 Therapy Gecko, and it's me, and I have like a very twinkish lizard body, and my ass is like hanging out off of a bathtub, and I'm looking very kawaii.
That's amazing, Lyle. I saw somebody the art pieces early on. That's one of the first times I knew that it was popping off because you were getting so much fan art
cool.
that I was like, oh shit!
I gotta post that stuff more often. It's really cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, feel free to draw me.
Yeah, draw back. Tell me you don't want to draw this.
You don't want to draw this?
Tell me it wouldn't be fun to... Tell me that wouldn't be a fun pose.
You tell me it wouldn't be fun to try to accurately capture this hairline before it's gone?
I want somebody to do an... You know that joke? Oh, fuck. You have one joke where you're moving a lot, and you're, like, scurrying.
The Gibbler?
No, I'm trying to remember what the joke is. I think it's just you being like, I'm working on some new ticks.
Oh, sure.
Just do all these, like, weird things.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun animation. That'd be cool.
Fucking a friend of mine. I've got this joke where I'm like, I was giving road dome in the Flintstones car, and I like run. My friend took a couple of shots of me doing that, and he like put them together, and he added that like cartoon like running noise.
That's funny. I like that.
It's like, you've seen my jokes, but have you heard me run? But anyway, folks, Lyle, it's great to have you. I'm so proud of where you're at and everything.
I'm fucking proud of you. I'm very happy that we got to hang out, man.
Oh,
I forgot you were Jewish.
Hey!
I forgot to. You're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Forgot
this is the official hat of the tunnel Jews. This is the official hat.
Very nice.
Digging.
That's it. Shabbat shalom, and to all a good
steam. All right, bye.